Welcome into episode 30 of the UDDA Podcast. Dan Black and Sporty Jordy. Who would have thought we'd get to 30 episodes? But we have. We're so excited to have you join us here today. Jordy, how are we doing on this Wednesday? So I am super pumped tonight to watch some NHL hockey. You did not have a good betting night last night. Well, I'm not sure what's wrong. Jordy, unplug your mic. See if that works.
Hello?
Okay, yeah. I thought it was me.
Switched microphones.
Okay, I thought it was me. I couldn't hear anything you were saying, and I was like,
No.
yo.
We got a comment for once. It's not Dan's fault. My mic's plugged in. Maybe I don't know what's going on, but
Weird.
Yeah, getting back to what we were saying, awful betting night. I came in with a very cold take. I parlayed Avs money line and I literally not only did I take the under, I took the alternate under. So it was sitting at 7, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go 6.5. It's better odds. It was just such a bad decision. I have no defense for myself. Very much so, like neither of those teams last night had any defense themselves. Great game, super exciting, but in regards to my bets, no.
No, not good. Not good. Yeah, no, I mean it was bad. I mean, I don't know how much of the game you watched versus what I watched. I watched like the first 2 periods, and then I was just like, I can't. This is too much. This is almost. It was like a weird line of like.
It was like overstimulating.
Right. There was too much scoring, which is like I know that's such a shocking thing for people to complain about nowadays. Given just the world we live in, but I thought there was way too much scoring. Like, if you're doing a high scoring hockey game, I feel like 6-4 is like, I mean, that's a lot even.
Yeah.
Like 5-3 is probably like the pinnacle of like, at least they're playing some defense somewhere. Yeah, it was not fun to watch. And I'm sure
14
not for
total
you.
goals scored. No, it was not fun. So now I know we've had the conversation in the past of whether we think hockey's too slow. And I know we were super excited in earlier parts of the NHL playoffs because the games were more high scoring, not half as much as last night, but still it felt very exciting and it was like that perfect balance. So we've talked in the past about how hockey could potentially be too slow and too low scoring. Now, do you think that we could get to a point where hockey is at like overall gets to the point where there are too many goals being scored and it takes kind of that fun element out of it?
No, because I don't think it'll ever get
180.
No, I don't think it'll get to that complete 180 point, like where it's just like this is not even like what is going where it becomes like 3-on-3 almost.
Yeah.
I think it was just a weird night of like horrible defense. Both teams weren't great defensively. One had a backup goalie in that eventually go to their third string goalie, and that certainly didn't help.
Yeah.
So I think it was just, a weird amount of horrible defense, great offense, terrible goaltending. But I do think that you're going to see more games similar to what we saw throughout most of the playoffs, which is like, 5-4, 7-5. Like, I think we could certainly get to that. And I actually don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like that's high scoring enough, but it's still somewhat manageable.
I agree.
Um, but no, I don't see like regular like 9 to 7 games or 8 to 6.
It looks like it felt more like lacrosse last
It
night
did.
than actual professional ice hockey. But on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, we now oh wait, here. You know what? Pause. Before we get into that, moving on for the rest of the series, how are you gonna look at these games? Because now it's like, all right, there was absolutely no defense. Are we betting the over in every game for the rest of this
I
series,
mean,
or was
you
that a
kind of had
fluke?
to. You kind of had. I mean, neither team is good enough defensively. I think you can just naturally bet the over unless they take that one game and basically move the line to like 8.5 every other game and just hope um that we don't see what we saw last night again. I am a former Laxro, actually. Um so but yeah, I think the over is without a doubt the way you go. I don't
Yeah.
even think you contemplate going under
Yeah.
for this series. And yeah, I think especially Colorado, well, both teams, but especially Colorado has so much talent offensively that there's just no reason to not bet the over.
Yeah, no, I learned my lesson. We'll never make that mistake
Yeah.
again. But now, kind of like I alluded to a minute ago, we move into the complete opposite side of the spectrum and we have Lightning versus Rangers, which we saw with the Rangers, the under was like the holy grail, the way to go. The over didn't
Yeah.
hit once, right? In the
Um
last series? I don't think it did.
that was hold on, let me yeah, that was bad. Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't I don't think it hit it over one time.
So
Yeah.
now we have to look at I'm just gonna take the Lightning and the under every game and see what happens. That's gonna be
Why
my
why are you
strategy.
taking the why are you taking the see the why are you taking the under? That's my first question.
Because it just seems like that's the trend. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just so accustomed to the last Rangers series, but again, this is the Lightning. So
That's fair. The Lightning went every game was the under against Florida. They've hit 5 straight unders, and then the 5 games before that, everything was over. So,
Jesus.
like,
I guess maybe I just don't want the Rangers to win.
I don't either. I don't either.
Not
And
that I want Lightning to win either, because like we get it, you're good at hockey, but I don't know. I'd prefer the Tampa Bay Lightning over the Rangers.
I mean, that's fair. I just anytime anything good happens to New York athletically, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm with you on that. Similar sentiments. I just don't see I don't think it'll be as I don't think you'll see in this series the same type of consistency that we saw with both these teams in the last couple of series where
Mhm.
like you had like 4 straight games of unders and then 4 straight games of overs and vice versa, whatever. I think it'll be a very back and forth. I think it's at 5.5 for tonight. I'm gonna go with the over because that seems like a very low number.
I'm like so paranoid because part of me is like my gut's telling me to take the under, but then the little devil in my head is like, you took the under last night and look what happened to you. So part of me, you know what? I'll take the over.
Yeah, I mean, I just and
More fun to take the over.
my thinking is, yeah, it's more fun to take the over for one.
Yeah,
Um, and two, my thinking is Tampa Bay is gonna because they just got off a sweep. They're gonna be so rested that
that's true. They've had
they
a
they
lot of time to sit back and
they
relax.
should be able to come out guns blazing. So
I
like
like
I
that logic.
in this situation where both teams come off 2 completely different series, like Lightning coming off a sweep, ton of time to rest. Rangers had to go the distance. Who do you favor in this first game? Like the almost overly rested team or the team that's under rested but has momentum?
I and this isn't biased going off of what I just said about the Rangers and how I wish they lose. I have to go with Tampa Bay Lightning here though. I think the Rangers are going to be so in that mindset like, okay, we just played this entire series. So yeah, they have the momentum and they're coming off, but I do think it is going to be an adjustment for them. While Tampa Bay Lightning got to sit back, rest up, they get a fresh start. It's a brand new series, so I personally think they have the advantage. I can see it easily going the other way, but I'm going to say Tampa Bay tonight.
Let's see. What has Tampa Bay been against the spread? I feel like they've been very good against the spread. I don't know, but they've been. Yeah, they've been all under. I. Mm,
I know. Betting NHL playoffs has secretly become one of my favorite things ever because it's very exciting. Oh, but it's in New York.
I don't give a shit about that. To be quite honest with you,
Fair, fair.
I don't think it matters that much. I mean, maybe in hockey it does a little bit more.
Like we said, Tampa Bay did just get a vacation. So for them to travel now, it really doesn't I don't feel bad for them.
I I don't feel bad for them at any point, but I agree with what you're saying. I agree with the sentiment. I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I just feel like the over has to be, but Florida's off, or I'm sorry, the Lightning's offense just like hasn't been. They had one really good game against Florida. We're going with the over. We know better.
I think I have to take the over after what happened to me last night, and that way, if this is a 1-0 game and Tampa Bay Lightning wins, then I'm smack dab in the middle, and I can have a clean slate,
Right.
or tonight's my bounce back night, and we'll just see what happens.
Right. Exactly. That's sort of how you have to look at it.
Exactly.
Do you think we'll get an all overs or all unders in this series?
I'm completely contradicting myself because I feel like if it's going to stay consistent, it's going to be the under. If it's going to be
Hmm.
consistent, they're going to be these tight, low scoring games. I feel like it's going to start getting chaotic where we have one game that goes way over and then we're going to have an under. Like I can't see it being all overs is what I'm getting at. So I think it's either going to be a hot mess, conjunction of everything, or the under is going to consistently hit.
It's fair. It's fair. It's fair. I think we could see an all overs
Really?
series. I
I
do.
mean, I love it.
I just there's something about both these teams. I think we're gonna have so many overs in these conference finals. It's gonna be
Yeah, I was
ridiculous.
gonna say, let's just bet the over every
And everywhere.
conference finals game.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. How many overs do you think will hit in the NBA finals? Probably zero.
Yeah,
Probably zero. Probably
yeah.
zero. But
I
let's talk about that.
yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's
Um,
talk.
I was at the other night for oh my god, it was Saturday night. No, it was Sunday night, Memorial Day weekend. I'm in Atlantic City in one of the casinos, sitting at a bar watching something in me. You know, I've had the Celtics winning the
Yeah,
title. So obviously, I should have been rooting for the
for the
Celtics.
Celtics.
Yeah, right? No. Something in my drunken Jersey Shore state of mind was like, you're going to put money on the Miami Heat right now. They were
Fuck
down.
Boston.
Yeah, I was like, I hate Boston. Let's go. And my friend literally looked at me and she was like, don't you have Boston winning the whole thing? And I was like, shut up. So
It's not the point.
yeah, I was like, this is a different game. Like, so I take Miami Heat and I'm sitting there and I'm rooting for Miami Heat, but then the Celtics are winning. And my friends are like, you're drunk. I have no idea what bet you're actually pulling for right now. Like, I was so back and forth. I was like, do I want my futures bet to hit or do I want my bet to hit tonight? And then I was sitting there and I was like, even if the Celtics win, I really don't think they can beat Golden State. I think my futures bet's a wash anyway, so might as well win some money tonight. But it was a hot mess.
What was the bet for the Heat?
I think I threw they were down. And I
Oh,
think
you lied. You lied.
oh yeah, no, the game was like I sat down as the game was like in the third.
Oh,
And I was sitting there, they were down, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw $50 on Heat money line. I'm telling you, it was
there
a
you go.
drunken state of mind.
No, it's fair.
Um,
I was pretty drunk on Saturday as well. I'm with you.
yeah.
I'm with you.
So
Down at the Jersey Shore as well.
yeah, we love it.
I do love the Jersey
Not
Shore.
cold, but we love it.
Sure. Fact. 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 What a shithole Atlantic City is.
Yeah, no, it's something else.
What a
I ended
horrible
up at a karaoke bar,
Nice.
which was fun. Great time. That was after my bet didn't hit.
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. I needed to sing my feelings away.
Yeah. So looking at this series, not really sure what to do with it. I'm heavy on Golden State. I just like don't really see it. But then when I read all these different blogs and everything, people are really liking Boston, and I just like I don't see it. Maybe you're seeing something that I'm not seeing. I
No,
don't know.
I'm just thinking if Boston was going to be able to come in and beat Golden State, they would have defeated Miami like single-handedly. Like Miami
Right.
had their upper hand for a minute. So not for a minute, like it was always back and forth, but Miami was in it until the very end. And the only reason Miami really like fell off, like they got pummeled with injuries, like bad.
Right.
So I think everyone was playing super broken and like going into this series, I was like, all right, the Miami Heat beat the Sixers, who were gave up, disheveled, completely beat up. Fine. You go on to play Boston. I was like, Celtics are gonna come in and just whoop them. And they did
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So I'm like, you're playing a Miami Heat team that beat the Sixers, but they beat a deceased Sixers team. Miami Heat starts getting injured. They're still hanging in there. I don't think Boston can come in and compete at this point. Uh, I mean, it's a fact.
It is a fact.
It is. We love it, but it's a fact.
It's great.
But yeah, no. So I personally, I don't think the Warriors are going to sweep. I can see this being a 5-6 game series, but I do think the Warriors come out on top.
Yeah, I kind of think it's going to be like a 5-game series. I think Boston gets one game where like Marcus Smart has 25 and like, they're actually getting contributions from everyone. But like I just the thing that makes me kind of understand the Boston people is their defense and sort of lack thereof of the Warriors.
Yeah.
Like they don't really have like Draymond's old, he's not going to do the same thing he used to do. Clay's older, 2 or 3, surgeries gone now. He's not the same defender. Steph, we know, and Jordan Poole are not defenders.
Yeah.
So I can understand from that standpoint why people are like, all right, Boston, if they can sneak or split 1 or 2 in Golden State, maybe there's a chance. I feel like the Warriors know, like if they get this championship, this caps off a dynasty. Like
Yeah.
this is like they go down. Not that they don't already have kind of one with 3, but the second and third ones, KD, like
Yeah.
they like it's not the same.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like so, I just feel like along with the rest, along with the talent, they have such a giant like historical presence that they win. Whereas like if Boston wins, it's another championship for Boston, but it's not. They're not in a run of 8 years and 6 finals appearances. So I think just no way Boston gets it.
Yeah, and coming from someone that has money on Boston to win it all, I can't see it happening. This is why I don't like futures because I always change my mind before the moment gets here.
I'm with you.
But looking at this I think is super tricky. I want to get super funky and place like I want to take Jordan Poole for MVP.
MVP.
Realistically, I think if the Warriors win it, which I think they're going to, I would be mind blown if it's anyone but Steph.
Yeah.
So, like, I know
barring
it's sick, and I know the odds aren't great, but like I just legitimately can't see it going any other way.
No, I'm 100% with you. I think the only way he doesn't win it would be if Klay Thompson like goes off
Yeah.
and Steph
Doesn't do
isn't
anything.
Steph.
Yeah.
Right. Essentially. Like I think that's really the only way. Because I think the league wants Steph to get one. Obviously Steph wants to get one. His teammates probably wanted to get one so he can get that monkey off his back. So I don't know. Do you think your Giannis Defensive Player of the Year is still alive? No.
I don't even remember saying this. I'm like really impressed you just whipped this out. Sure.
Give notes.
Sure, yeah. I need to start writing my own things down. Um, because I think look at it this way, even if Steph plays at 75%, I'll even give him 65, 70%, and Klay Thompson is playing some of his best game, it's still gonna fall to Steph because
Yeah,
even Steph that isn't at 100% is still
right.
freaking Steph Curry. So I don't
And
know. It's not fun. I want to get more exciting with it, but I
I
just
agree. I agree. And no, and it's crucial for Steph's legacy because like he's already sort of in most people's minds, like he's up there
yeah,
amongst the top, 20-ish probably. If you're not just like someone that hates three-pointers, you realistically have him in the top 25-ish
yeah,
just on his, changing the game alone. But like to be in the goats of goats conversation, like the Jordan and LeBron stuff, like gotta have at least one finals MVP.
yeah.
And you can't not have that.
So that leads us into our next point going into this. Who, and we can talk about players or teams specifically, who do we think has the most pressure? And as ironic as it is, I low key think it's Golden State because I think if the Celtics come out and win, I'd be like, wow, good for them. But I'm not expecting them
Right.
to win. But
Right.
if Golden State loses, I'm going to be like, what the heck just went wrong?
Yeah, and I would agree with you, especially for the fact that they got a giant break not having to face Phoenix. Like they
Yeah.
literally couldn't ask for an easier trip to the finals. Um and yeah, so there's no way that there's any pressure on Boston. Like anybody who says there's pressure on Boston, I think you're a lunatic.
Yeah. No, and I know there are people who believe in Boston and like want Boston. I mean, hey, I was one of them at one point, but I think even those people can be like, yeah, if they lose to Golden State, it's fair. Like it's
Right.
Golden State.
Like, and if they lose to Golden State, no one is walking away from. They're obviously going to be upset. They're not going to be like, "Oh, this was a wasted season. We missed our shot." Still,
Yeah.
have a very young team that like is only getting significantly better.
Yeah.
That's going to be around together for a while. Whereas, like, you look at Golden State, like the runaways nearing, and you are a better team than them. Like,
Yeah.
there's no doubt that you're a better team, and you haven't had to have the taxing on your body in these playoffs the same way that they've had to, because they've had to go through a much more difficult gauntlet than Golden State. So yeah, I don't think there's no team that has more pressure than Golden State, and I don't think there's any more pressure than on Steph Curry to perform because he hasn't really had a finals moment.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about that today. There's never been a time where I'm like, I can't think of anything that Steph's ever done in the finals.
Yeah, no, this would be I think there's a lot of pressure on him going in, and I'm not worried for him in saying that because I don't think he really felt like he's just going to go out there and do what he does best. So I think everything's going to be fine. But I think this is it's not a make or break moment by any stretch of the
No.
imagination, but I think this could be a very defining moment, like you talked about earlier, moving him forward in the goat of goats
Right.
conversation. Like this could be one of those pivotal turning points for him.
No, this doesn't affect anything with him because he's not LeBron James.
Exactly.
Like, he's not like no one plays the game with Steph of like, okay, you lose your finals, like now you're the worst player ever.
Yeah.
Like this, like no one plays that game with him. Like
He's still
it,
going to be Steph Curry.
right. If he loses, nothing happens. And if he wins, only positive things. Like
Exactly.
there's no negative that comes from this. I don't know. Kind of weird. I don't like it.
It's just unfair. Like, how do
I
some
do too.
people like get this treatment and then some people are just hated for no matter what they do? And like I'm guilty of doing it to
Right.
players. Sorry. But it's just weird how like the story just like writes itself and you just get stuck in
Yeah, you just yeah. It's
like there are some guys where every single game is a make or break game. And then there are some
right.
guys where it's like you can play awful for a stretch of time and no one's even blinking an eye.
Right. Yeah, because no one looks at Steph in the same way they look at like Jordan or LeBron and stuff
No,
like that.
no.
So I don't know. It's weird.
It
It's weird.
is weird.
All right. So we both have the Warriors handling things pretty easily. Do you think Rodgers and Brady handle things tonight?
I personally do. I just also now I've never even swung a golf club a day in my entire life. I haven't even done like Top Golf yet. I've been there.
Never like gone to like a driving range?
Never. Well, I've been, but I've never been
Never
the
like
one.
actively done it.
Yeah, I was just there for moral support. And when I was at Top Golf, I was there to drink. So I wasn't actually participating. But when I think of golf, I think of it as like a wise man's game. And I feel like it comes to people like it's harder for newbies to come in and just Rogers. Do you want me to put on my Aaron Rodgers jersey right now? Because I will.
Should.
I know I should have worn it. I feel like this is like it's harder for young guys to come in and just like beat the older guys at golf. And I feel like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are just gonna be like those old wise men that just go out there and do their thing and take care of the young bucks.
Interesting. I don't agree.
Really?
I don't agree.
We can see. Let me pull up our match pick 6 contest. Maybe we can run through.
I think I see Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, I think, have played a ton of golf. Obviously, Rodgers and Brady have played a ton of golf as well and have played in this match before. So that's a whole other part of this. But there's something about the youth movement in football having great success.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something to me about the youth movement of this match.
Okay.
The youth of Mahomes and Allen plus 130, mind you, to win it. I'm with it.
I like it. So in our contest up on the app now, you would take Allen and Mahomes?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm trying to think of the picks that I made too that I posted the other day. Best individual score. Who are you thinking?
I think Tom Brady.
I think I said Aaron Rodgers. That greasy hippie is just going to come and golf away. Worst individual score.
Aaron Rodgers.
What?
He's got
I
a hunch.
Josh Allen.
That's probably a fair. We're taking the Robins of both teams.
Yeah. All right. Number of holes that go over par for Brady Rodgers. 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 plus.
Go to 3. I think like 3 to 4.
I think that's definitely what
I think it's like a fair. That's a fair.
Yeah.
Especially because there's only 12 holes.
Exactly. I think that's valid.
For non-professional golfers to go over par like a third or quarter of the time, I think it's fair.
For Mahomes Allen, I said 5 to 6.
I think it's probably at 3 to 4 as well.
Okay.
I think they're all good golfers. Like they don't do anything else in their free time.
Sure I don't think they would have agreed to it if they felt super insecure about their golf abilities. Yeah. And then do you think there's a hole in one?
No.
I said yes, just because I could see Brady or Mahomes pulling some like whack shit. Like they just pull off some miracle. And that's just like them.
And that's just them. Yeah, no, I completely get where you're coming from. Like Tom Brady's pulled shit out of his ass plenty of times. Like, why not tonight?
Have you seen all of the trash talking leading up to this?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh my God. Why don't they do this during the NFL season?
I agree. Listen, this is one of the things that I've said about sports constantly is every player should have a mic. They should all be mic'd up and just go do your thing.
And even like roast each other. If I made a TikTok about this today. If it was the NFL season and the Chiefs were getting ready to play the Packers and Aaron Rodgers put up a story of Patrick Mahomes and tagged Kermit the Frog in it, right. It would just make the game so much better. Not that the NFL is one of the sports that's not in jeopardy at all with viewer ratings. So it's not like they need to rebrand, but it still would be fun. Like I'd still love it.
I'm with you. Do you like it with having all athletes, like all non-golfer professional athletes, or do you like it with like having the actual like when they had Mickelson and Tiger and stuff.
I don't want it to be forced, but if there is drama, like if there is like that tension and people were going at it, oh, I'd love it.
I would like to see it with like Phil Mickelson and Charles Barkley versus like Tiger Woods and Shaq.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about trash talking. You're talking
Oh
about like,
no,
the
that's
match
it.
in general.
The match in general, I think if you had Shaq and Charles Barkley with Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, mainly because Tiger and Phil they're certainly far from
Yeah.
boys. I think you can get some great TV.
No, I would love that. I had dinner with Charles Barkley one night when I was still
Really?
an undergrad, and the entire time, all he talked about, it was like all these like undergraduate college kids like trying to ask him like questions about like his career, and he was like, "Let me tell you about this golf game that I played," and it's amazing. He was an incredible human being. But the man loves golf. I don't know how good he is.
No, he's a horrible golf. No, he
That's
loves
what I
gambling.
heard.
He loves gambling, and so
Yeah,
he
that's
can
true.
gamble on golf. He's a
Yep.
horrible golfer. You never like seen him swing a golf club?
No, I've never seen it.
It's hard to watch.
Incredible. So yeah, no, I say, I mean, that would be incredible television.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Well, we will see how that tees off, and that'll be in what, about a half hour from now. So
Yeah.
can't wait to see. Make sure if you haven't already, follow us on all our socials at UDA_winner. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.